I love fruit. I love swimming, I love biking, I love running. Do you know the 4 steps to reverse type 2 diabetes completely? Because if you don't, you should keep watching because this method is guaranteed to reverse non-insulin dependent type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, and insulin resistance. In this video, you'll learn the cause of diabetes, the 4 steps to reverse diabetes, and how you're guaranteed to succeed as long as you take action quickly enough. 1 in 10 people in the US will develop type 2 diabetes, and 1 in 5 don't even know they have it. Wouldn't it be great to know the guaranteed cure? Well, watch on to find out. So here's a big question everyone asks. Is there a cure for diabetes? The answer to this question is yes, but with a few caveats. First, it's important to know that for the purpose of this video and for our guidance in general, we'll refer to curing diabetes as reversing diabetes. Next, let's talk about the types of diabetes that are not reversible. Type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune condition that affects about 5 to 10% of people with diabetes, currently has no known cure or method of reversal, but it can be managed effectively through lifestyle decisions. And on the other hand, there is type 2 diabetes, which currently affects about 90 to 95% of people with diabetes and can be reversed as long as it's caught early enough. Now, in order to understand how to reverse type 2 diabetes, you have to understand what causes it. Type 2 diabetes is caused by insulin resistance, which is the buildup of dietary fat in cells that are not meant to store it. This causes your insulin levels to rise and glucose levels in the blood to continue rising because it can't enter into cells where it's needed. All of the damage done by diabetes, including symptoms like weight fluctuations, excessive hunger, excessive urination, excessive thirst, and more severe complications like diabetic ketoacidosis and diabetic shock are a result of elevated blood sugar levels. However, the root cause of this disease, at least with type 2 diabetes, is insulin resistance. Because if your cells can effectively intake the glucose in your diet, then you don't have to worry about blood sugar levels. And since we can control and reverse insulin resistance through diet and lifestyle, it's possible to effectively reverse type 2 diabetes. And we'll tell you how right now. But first, we want to remind you that if you like this video and you want to learn more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. There's a lot to digest when it comes to the ins and outs of diabetes health, and you can find answers to all of those questions right here on this channel, including one big one. So what is the cure for type 2 diabetes? In this video, we'll focus on type 2 when it comes to addressing a potential diabetes cure. But the strategies for reducing insulin resistance can be used just as effectively to improve your life if you're living with type 1 diabetes. And reversing insulin resistance is exactly what you need to do to reverse type 2 diabetes. And now, let's cover the 4 steps we recommend as the proven, tested, and guaranteed cure for type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. As we said before, insulin resistance is the buildup of dietary fat in cells that are not meant to store it. This can result from a diet that's too high in fat, processed foods, and refined sugars, a lack of exercise, stress and sleep, and other challenges. Most likely, it's a combination of all of these factors. Fortunately, these 4 steps guarantee that you can get control of your blood sugar levels and reverse diabetes. First, a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. Did you know that food is your best medicine? Well, it's true. And the first step for people with diabetes is eating a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. These diets are full of fiber to help you feel satisfied, can help you drop excess weight, and most importantly, increase insulin sensitivity. This means eating healthy, green light foods such as fresh fruits, starchy vegetables, beans, whole grains, non-starchy vegetables, herbs and spices, but limiting your fat intake of yellow light foods and of course avoiding red light foods. Most of your fat will come from whole foods in our green light category. A small portion of your fat will come from yellow light foods such as avocado, nuts, seeds, olives, coconut meat, and edamame. Stick to this diet and you're going to make progress in no time. The second treatment to help you get control of your blood sugar and reverse type 2 diabetes is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the practice of fasting regularly throughout the week, either for a period of time each day, like the 16-8 method, or sometimes once or twice a week for 24 hours. This engages a process called autophagy, a leftover biological process from our hunter-gatherer era. Human bodies were adapted to handle long periods of calorie restriction. So when you don't eat for a while, your body begins to recycle damaged cells, junk proteins, and you guessed it, fats. Combined with a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, your body clears up its insulin resistance fast. The third step is daily movement and exercise. And yes, you've heard it 1,000 times, but that's because it's true. Physical activity is key to staying healthy, and the research has proven it thousands of times over. You may have noticed that we said there are 4 steps, and we've only covered 3. That's because the last step we recommend all people with diabetes take is to track their decision-making process and progress with decision trees. Decision trees are essentially a diabetes journal where you track your decisions throughout the day alongside your blood sugar to see exactly how the decisions you make are affecting your health. It's a key part of reversing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. And it's also a great way to track your progress. And before we sign off, we wanted to address some of the other treatments and diabetes cures that get thrown around pretty frequently. Because you know what's just as important as knowing what works? Knowing what doesn't work. First, let's talk keto. Keto and similar high-fat diets are frequently recommended for diabetes management because they have immediate effects on your weight and can lead to lower blood sugar in the short term. After all, if you're eating less glucose, you can expect to see lower levels of glucose in your blood. Plus, people love eating fats. Unfortunately, even if your blood sugar is lower now, keto and high-fat diets are a disaster for people with diabetes, leading to your cells' insulin resistance skyrocketing and creating some massive long-term risks. You can learn more about keto and its misleading myths right here on the Mastering Diabetes channel. Another option that doesn't work is eating carnivore diets. Carnivore tends to be a subset of other low-carb diets, which also tends to be just as bad or worse than keto. While the one-sidedness of keto is bad, carnivore takes it to another level. This diet cuts out not only all carbs, but also all vegetables and fruits, which are full of vitamins, replacing them with meat alone. The lack of fiber and key nutrients in this extreme diet is never a good thing, and that's before you consider the fact that meats officially range from potentially dangerous for your heart to known group 1 carcinogens. You can learn more about why carnivore is not the best move for you here on our channel as well. While some people believe that there is a healthy diabetes cure in the form of medication, whether that's blood sugar lowering medication like metformin or injected insulin, this is a dangerous assumption. If you have type 2 diabetes for a long enough period of time, then your pancreas can get worn down. It will no longer secrete enough insulin, and you'll have to take injected insulin for the rest of your life. Insulin and medication are not a cure. They're just another way of managing diabetes symptoms. The only way to reverse diabetes is by reversing insulin resistance. Do you have any so-called diabetes cures that you've heard about and you'd like us to address on this channel? If so, leave a comment below explaining what you've heard about and what your questions are. As we said, the diabetes world is full of misleading claims. But here's the good part. You're not alone in reversing insulin resistance. Though these 4 steps are simple in theory, executing them can be hard, especially in a world where foods are designed to be deceptive and we all struggle with stress and other health factors. That's why we have a world-class team of coaches and experts in diabetes education and can help you understand your diet, plan meals and exercise, help you work with your doctor to get personalized treatment and medical advice, and even offer advice and support for you when you're having a hard time. In order to find out which option is best for you, we suggest booking a free discovery call. Simply click the link below and you'll be directed to a page where you book a time that works for you, and you'll speak with a member of the Mastering Diabetes team. And if you want to get started right away, we've got 7 tips to lower your blood sugar immediately that you can see right here.